right. All right, they're coming in pretty strong on the Dancing Rabbit Golf text line. It's National Buttermilk Biscuit Day. You say that in the heart of the Sun Belt in the Deep South, people will let you know where they have the best biscuits. Somebody said Dude's Biscuits in Brookhaven. Of course, Mr. Tom's in Richland, Mississippi. Anywhere in the Mississippi Delta, Drew, Marigold, Cleveland area, the biscuits are fabulous. The Busted Biscuit in Raymond. Okay, that's Josh Raggio country. Raggio Mercantile Shop now here in Madison with all the cool stuff to pick up for graduation gifts. And there's a place named Hazel's close to Hattiesburg that has the best fried pies, peach and apple. We'd hit it on the way to Destin, starting in 1985. That was a long time ago. Cool. All right, good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. And we welcome in Tom Luginbill, National College Football Analyst with ESPN. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. All right, Lugs, we're talking Southern food this morning. Now, you're a West Coast guy, but you've been over here. I don't know how to classify Charlotte. It's not really the South. You're kind of in the Mid-Atlantic region, I think. If that, I don't really know. I mean, help me out there.
Well, let's not forget. I've been outside of some time in Europe, in NFL Europe, and then in the XFL in 2001 in Los Angeles. I have lived in the southeast somewhere for the better part of the last 27 years.
Okay.
My wife's from Alabama.
Oh.
Obviously, I've lived in Atlanta.
Okay.
I've lived in Kentucky. I went to grad school in West Virginia. I live in North Carolina. So
Okay.
I've bounced around quite a bit to experience a lot of really, really good Southern food.
Okay.
Right? And I enjoy every last morsel.
Yeah, we do it right down here. I was just in New Orleans over the weekend, and man, we had some
Nice.
Yeah, we had some really good food. So help me there. Is Charlotte, I'd like to hear from our listeners too, and we'll see what Luke says. Is Charlotte in the South, or is it, I don't even know where to put North Carolina. What do we do with that, Tom?
So North Carolina is the equivalent to Kentucky.
Okay.
So I think where you get into the Charlotte part, and you're right there on the southern border, and you border up against South Carolina, I think that's pretty south, right? But
Okay.
then if you get into like Raleigh and some of those spots, now you're, up in the north, really the north, I guess, east portion of the state. But there's no real difference in culture.
Okay.
Like it's kind of the same, but like Kentucky's interesting. I say that because you've got Kentucky, which borders on Tennessee, and Tennessee to me is the South.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the top half of the state of Kentucky is bordering on the Midwest.
Yeah.
So you talk about Cincinnati, and do you live on the Ohio side or the Kentucky side? You talk about Louisville. Do you live on the Indiana side or the Kentucky side? So you're right. That's kind of hard to just say that's deep South. I don't think it's deep South, but I hear a lot of accents. I hear a lot of y'alls. I hear a lot of fix and twos.
Uh-huh.
All of those sort. I hear a lot of what was that?
Yeah.
All of the sayings that I've come to listen to since I married my wife almost 24 years ago. I recognize in Charlotte and around the Carolinas.
All right. Do you like grits?
So great story on grits.
Okay.
Remember the movie My Cousin Vinny? And
Heck yeah.
And Joe Pesci goes, "What the hell is a grit?"
Yes.
Right? Okay. So coming from Southern California, you had oatmeal or cream of wheat. Nobody ate grits out west. So I transferred to Georgia Tech, and of course, every morning in the dining hall, they have grits, and I didn't even really care about trying them. And finally, I was like, "Dude, try them. They're good." And so I tried them. I'm like, they don't taste like anything. Like what I don't get it. Right. So, and it just didn't click with me. So didn't touch a grip after that because I didn't really care and it didn't do anything for me.
Right.
Then, so I am getting ready to move from Huntsville, Alabama to Los Angeles, California to start in the XFL in 2001. My then girlfriend, not yet fiance, not yet wife, Tennille, is with me. She's going out west with me, and we're about to make this huge road trip.
Oh, yeah.
So we decided to start with breakfast in the morning at Waffle House.
Oh,
okay, of course.
That's very Southern.
And we sit down, and at this point, my wife and I, we've got a great story. We only knew each other for like 3 months, and we're moving to LA.
I love
so like,
it.
we're talking about major like culture shock for her. So we're and I bring that up because when you only know each other for like 3 months, you have in-depth conversations, but maybe you still don't know all that much about each other.
Right.
So we're sitting in the morning, we're getting ready to load up the car, and we're going to go on the trek out west. She says to me, she's like, what do you think? Do you like grits? I'm like, so I tell her I lay out everything I just laid out for you.
Right.
And she goes, oh, no. She goes, you got to take butter and sugar.
Yeah.
And mix them in there and then try it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, I'm going to order you some. So she ordered me some. I did that, and I freaking loved it.
Yep.
Loved them. And so now I like grits, but I don't like plain grits. I don't like salt and pepper grits. I don't like grits just with butter.
Right.
There has to be either a sugar substitute or sugar in there.
All right, I'm going to take it up a notch for you. Jalapeno cheese. So it's a game. If you get cheese grits, there's all kinds of restaurants that do brunch just like around you in Charlotte, right? And they'll throw their version of shrimp and grits or catfish and grits or whatever
I've done
it is.
That. I love that. Yep.
Okay. All right. And you do some andouille sausage and you do some like Mississippi State does jalapeno cheese, cheddar, eat them, and so on. You do some jalapeno cheese or something like that, and then you pair it with either because this is late in the morning. You pair it with a really good craft beer or Tito's Bloody Mary, and you're living right. How about that?
Well, I mean, if you're going to do that before noon, of course you're living right.
Hey, do you have a cool by your lake house? Do you have a cool like local cafe or diner in the few mile radius?
You know what? Little Hartwell, Georgia is a pretty. It's got like it's kind of Norman Rockwell-ish. It's got like the little town square, that whole thing. But I'm about 15 minutes out for it. But what we do have there is we've got great little microbreweries.
Ooh.
That local people have started up and opened up little storefront places. You can go in and sit down. Some of them serve food, some of them don't. And you'd never guess it, but it's awesome. It's really, really good. We also have like a lot of good barbecue. And the other thing that we have on Lake Hartwell is there are a variety of different on the water spots. Open air, indoor, outdoor seating, craft beer.
Oh, yeah.
Drive your boat up, park it in a slip, go up and have lunch, go up and have happy hour or whatever. That's like my favorite thing to do on the lake.
Hell yes.
Cruise up, pull up, find a little spot, have a little cocktail, have maybe some catfish bites or something like that. That's my deal.
Okay, yeah, I'm in. And then light a cigar. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Then when that sun goes down, pour a little bird.
Yep.
Brown water.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to send you some Elijah Craig, either toasted barrel or 18-year, because it's delicious. And
yes, you should do that.
I should do that. All right. All right. So let's think about SEC football coaches who would smash a big Southern breakfast. Now, the first guy that comes to my mind is, and I'll let Lugs and I can go back and forth here. First guy that comes to my mind is Sam Pittman.
Who would crush a Southern breakfast?
Oh, yeah. Don't you? I mean, I'm talking.
Absolutely, it's Sam.
Yeah.
Pittman.
Yeah. And then I think number 2 would be
Jeff Levy.
Levy, yes. Hell yeah, Levy's a big boy. Yeah. Yeah. He is.
Yep.
He's a big man. And he looks like somebody who could just hammer bacon, eggs, grits, and buttermilk biscuits since it's National Buttermilk Biscuit Day.
A little home fried potatoes.
Yeah. I had some of those
Yeah.
in New Orleans on Saturday morning, or whichever morning I was there.
Why were you in New Orleans?
A friend of ours' son got married down there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We went to see Hamilton. I took my daughter, Wendy, and I took my daughter's a junior at Mississippi State, and she wanted to go to Hamilton. So we went to the Sanger Theater, which is right there by the Superdome, Luke's.
I know where it is.
Yeah. And so we went to Hamilton a couple of weeks ago, but we had a wedding there last weekend. So it was a ton of fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Went to a place called Grigori on Magazine. I'd already been. One of the big time chefs here in the state, Robert St. John, had told me about Grigori. He has it as a top 5 on his list for lunch. And they have a chicken and andouille sausage gumbo that is ridiculous, but they do an oyster BLT appetizer, Lugs, with big chunks of pork belly, almost like you're eating like little miniature steaks of pork belly with flash fried oysters on there.
While you're talking about New Orleans, so when we had the Sugar Bowl, the Kansas State Alabama Sugar Bowl, Bryce Young's last game.
Yeah.
Our crew, it's me, Dave Pash, Dusty Dvorak, I think our producer, our director, we all go out. We go out to one of Emerald's restaurants. It was just a couple blocks from where we were staying at the Omni. They're right across the street from the Superdome. So we sit down, and then all of a sudden, Emerald shows up.
That's awesome.
And he sits right down next to us. We don't know why, and just starts engaging in conversation with us. And we didn't know, because he loves football, right? I don't know if many people know that he loves football. And I think he's got a daughter that also goes to LSU. But he just sits down and he starts to just couldn't have been nicer. And then all of a sudden he just goes, you know what? You guys look like guys that really would enjoy some good food. I know you guys have already put your order in, but let me bring out a couple of things that we're testing out here and get your feedback, see what you think. Next thing you know, like 6, 7 different plates of stuff that wasn't on the menu just show up at our table. It was awesome. And then he just sat there and talked through it and was just could not have been a more kind person.
He is, he's done a hell of a job building his business and his brand and you describing what he, I've been to those restaurants down there. We just went to Merrill a couple of weeks ago. He named it after his daughter. It's another restaurant down there. In fact, it's my favorites. It even trumps Grigori for lunch. Merrill it's in the Warehouse District, which again is close to the Dome and Poydras. Yep. But if you go back down there, his newest, and now that his son's with him, there's no telling what's going to happen because evidently he just finished. So his son, Emerald's son, just finished CIA, Culinary Institute of America at Hyde Park in New York with Robert St. John's son, who I just referenced, Harrison's.
Wow.
They went up and did that whole run together, and now Robert St. John's son is in Chicago, and I think Emerald's son is either full-time in New Orleans or doing some kind of, internship and then coming in to the empire, so to speak. But Merrill's another spot. But that's so cool that he brought all that food out for y'all to try. I mean, that's big time. He does it at a very, very high level.
Yeah, it was cool. So, by the way, I know we got off target there, but I was thinking about what we were on, who out of the SEC coaches would crush a Southern breakfast.
Yeah.
There's really only one more to me.
Stoops.
Named Sam. Stoops. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that dude's built like a junior college overachieving junior college defensive lineman. Don't you think?
Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I know for a fact, Sark and Lane would be Southern California hole-in-the-wall Mexican joints.
Yes.
Which is the best Mexican food on the planet. I'd be right in line with them.
Yeah.
But I don't see if we're talking an elite level steak, like a Del Frisco's, a steak 48,
sure.
Steak 44, I got to be honest with you. I kind of see I kind of see that being like Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
And and maybe I don't know, maybe Billy Napier on that one. I don't know. But Southern breakfast, like, don't you just naturally put like the person's physical appearance
Pittman,
and apply
Levy,
it to who would love the breakfast?
Yeah, I think you nailed it with Levy. So Pittman, Levy, Stoops, and Kirby are my four. Because Kirby's, even though he's got the frat look with the visor and all of them almost, but he's still stumpy. I mean, I know he was an overachieving secondary player for Georgia, and he was a gritty good player, but he's still kind of thick. But you're right on with Pittman, Levy, and Stoops. Those dudes can smash a Southern breakfast. And then I don't see it so much with Beamer, Brian Kelly, Sark. Like you said, they're going to get like authentic breakfast tacos from somewhere.
Brian Kelly would be the last one.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
He'd be the last on the list if we were talking biscuits and gravy, grits,
and Drinkwitz.
Bacon. Yeah. Oh, no question. No doubt.
Tom Luginbill, National College Football Analyst with ESPN, also Food Insider, joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. The show is brought to you by Total Transportation of Mississippi, and come join the home team at Total Transportation, and you can visit TotalMS.com. Competitive pay, paid vacation, full benefits, frequent home time, all powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi, TotalMS.com. All right, I'm trying to think, like, who's the most frou-frou? Is it, what I mean by that, I mean, we're thinking bougie. Is it Kiffin? Is it Drinkwitz? Is it Sark? And would anybody else be in? Oh, Elko smashes a big boy breakfast with Levy and
how did we miss Elko?
I guess because he's new and
Oh, we screwed that up.
I know, because Elko looks like he played defensive line for Central Michigan. Okay, just tough as hell, overachiever. Maybe I'm trying to think of another spot. Not Wofford. He could get to Troy. Yeah, I could maybe some Tulane there, but Elko and Stoops both look like they could have played some JUCO D3, possibly D2 defensive line. But yeah, we got to throw Elko in there because he had Sam Pittman, Elko, and Stoops and Levy, all four sitting down at SEC Media Days and seeing who could do the most damage, Luke's. That would be probably the best stuff on the SEC network all day that day,
Yeah, you're right. Hey, by the way, speaking of foo-foo, all right, so like if you sat there, okay, who would have like a cup of tea and
Lane.
A biscuit or a croissant?
Lane.
You think Lane? No way, it's Drinkwitz.
Well, I think it's like 1 and 1A. Because Lane's got that West Coast in him, Pilates, all that stuff. He's always talking about that. So I could see Lane showing up while Pittman, Levy, and Elko are crushing bacon, grits, and biscuits and eggs, and Lane's got some kind of organic green tea and Drinkwitz too. Who else? It's funny you talked about Lexington. Lexington is very Southern. I go up there every year, and
it's such a great town.
It's my favorite.
Such a great town.
It's my favorite. The two towns that I like all of them. You can't not have a good time in all these places.
Yeah.
But I went through different phases. In the 90s when I was in college, we traveled to go see, games, right? We took road trips to all these different places and stadiums and partied with our friends. But, Luke's, my two favorite today are Lexington and Auburn. They've just done a great job.
Good choices.
Yeah,
good choices. My son is, 25 minutes down I-75.
Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Is he doing well?
He's doing great. He just finished spring ball. He won the short snapping job as a redshirt freshman going into the summer, and then they're going to have him. He's going to compete with another kid on the team for the punting duties in fall camp. So he'll be the short snapper, and then could end up being the snapper on punts as well. So just a redshirt freshman, but he's making some progress.
That's awesome. I remember seeing him last year when Eastern Kentucky came into to start.
State, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I had more. I mean, I love talking football with you, and
sometimes it's fun just to BS.
It's a ton of fun to talk about, coaches smashing big Southern breakfasts, and then who would be with the tofu. And I'm going Drinkowitz and Kiffin. And I'm so glad you threw out Levy, and then we left out. This is great. We've got like all these.
Elko? I still don't understand.
I don't know because they could be sneaky good this year too. If he gets that secondary right. I love what he said.
And the quarterback's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's right. God, I feel like Connor Wigman's been there for 6 years, but hasn't.
No, Connor. It's not Connor. It's Marcel Reed. Connor's at Houston now.
That's right. Marcel Reed transferred in, right? Or was he?
Well, he was. Yeah, he had been there. He played a lot for him last year because Wigman got hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, Marcel Reed. Connor Wigman went to where?
Houston.
Willie Fritz.
Yeah, Willie Fritz.
Did you see Mario Cristobal's reaction to getting that big-time recruit yesterday, Luke?
Jackson Cantwell?
Yeah.
I didn't see. What did Mario do?
Okay, well, I thought about you since you did so much ACC network stuff last year. And he was at the ACC spring meetings, and he, went crazy out in the hallway, and they videoed him. And
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Tell me about this player. Before we let you go, tell me about this player that Mario Cristobal at Miami got.
Yeah, he's a big-time player. He's got tremendous upside because he's still young. He's got a baby face. There's so much developmental excitement. We last year was the first year we started implementing underclassmen into the Under Armour All-America game. So we blended 2026 players with 2025 players. He was one of them, so he played up and played with the older kids, and he's just got a chance to be a really, really good football player. And I think the exciting thing about him, like I said, he's a baby face. He's young. He hasn't developed his body. He's all athlete. He's just, when somebody gets a hold of him and gets him coached up, they get him into the weight room, he starts really, fine-tuning his body coordination and development in relationship to that. He's going to be an exciting guy. That was a huge get for Miami. It came down to Oregon, Georgia, Miami.
Wow.
That was a big, big battle for them.
Tom Luginbill, food insider, culinary insider, national college football analyst with ESPN, joined us live from the lake in Georgia. Have a good week, man. We'll talk soon.
All right. Yeah, buddy.
Tom Luginbill on the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Total Transportation of Mississippi, nationwide and regional routes for solo and team drivers, competitive pay, paid vacation, full benefits. TotalMS.com to apply today.
Stand by for audio. Got it.
It's 8 a.m., and you're tuned to Mississippi's #1 choice for non-stop sports. The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
Where am I?
On the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
Good morning. The PGA Championships at Quail Hollow in the Charlotte area, where we just had Tom Luginbill. Well, he's in Georgia at his lake house, but he lives in the Charlotte metro area. And the second major of the year, Jackson Meadows, after Rory McIlroy won the Masters. The PGA Championship at Quail Hollow this week.
That's not Quail Hollow in Macomb.
It's not. Close, but this one is hosting the PGA Championship, and the official bourbon of the PGA is Elijah Craig bourbon, and their small batch is amazing. But I'd also like for y'all, for those of you who like, a nice glass of bourbon on the back patio with a little music, or a cigar, or a beautiful woman. I would also recommend Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, which is excellent, and Elijah Craig 18-year. But the small batch, it doesn't get any better because it's about $30 to $33 at Briarwood Wine and Spirits in Jackson, or Elijah Craig small batch at Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg. By the way, Jamie Ferris at Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg has an Elijah Craig barrel pick right now that is insane. Of course, he's the barrel pick king and for the Southeast, and he got it in front of that 15 years ago, and it's worked out for him. So if you're in the Hattiesburg area, a lot of you are going to be going to the beach or the Beau Rivage, or wherever, the Hard Rock, or any number of things on the beautiful Mississippi Gulf, Ocean Springs. Phenomenal, 24, 48 hours. But if you're going through to Orange Beach or Destin or 30A or whatever you're doing, stop by Lincoln Road. Lincoln Road, it's easy to get to, in Hattiesburg, and pick you. I mean, he's got barrel picks for days. Jamie Ferris does. So he also has Volteo Super Premium Tequila, which if you look at that Rob Report article, robreport.com, Dak Prescott gets into the tequila business, and Volteo is 100% blue agave, 100% additive free, and it is super premium tequila, Volteo. Nate has it at Briarwood Wine and Spirits. Jamie Ferris has it at Lincoln Road, and a friend of mine picked up 2 bottles Monday at Spillway Wine and Spirits. So just kind of giving you a heads up there. Yeah, Volteo, Volteo. You got the Blanco and the Reposado, both excellent. Shout out to Jason Young, my buddy, who sent me a picture. He was on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I can't remember the name of that wine and spirit store, but he picked up some Volteo, Volteo. It's fabulous. All right, back to We Are the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Elijah Craig Bourbon. Pair it with a ribeye medium rare and some escargot at Kessler Prime, KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. This is 105.9 The Zone ESPN. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. Bo Bounds, Jackson Meadows. Jay Meadows is where he's back to his coat of many colors.
That's right.
Dolly Parton style. And I don't know what hat you're wearing. Do you?
Martin's.
And man, Joseph Stodgel is going to have to put you on payroll.
Hey, might as well.
Because
walking billboard, baby.
Not only do you like the pork rind nachos, but you're a walking billboard for Martin's in Livingston.
I mean,
you wear that hat. I'm glad you do.
Pride.
You wear it all the time.
I do.
I need to get you a Volteo hat.
I do need one. Yeah.
Okay.
Either
you or Mackenzie has to wear it.
We can make that happen. I need to wear one.
Okay.
I need to get a Whiskey 61 as well. I need some go-to. I need go-to hats that
I
match
got you.
everything.
I got you. I need to reorder.
Yeah, you sent them all up to Starkville.
Whiskey 61 hats. I know.
You flooded the city.
Well, my son and his buddies took them, and then we had a guy order like 13 or 14 of them at Christmas.
What better?
And I never got caught up.
It's the best advertising right there, though.
Yeah, I was glad that he handed them out to friends and clients and his buddies in the duck camp. I thought that was cool. Highway 61, Whiskey 61. It's cool.
No, I was talking about Wilkes passing them around.
Wilkes, yeah, he took all my Whiskey 61 T-shirts and all the hats.
Smart.
Yeah, or a lot of them.
Just flood it, baby.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Couple of different ways that you can get in touch with us before I get back into this, and we are going to hit this again on eggs and grits and bacon on national and biscuits on national honey butter. What did I say? Not honey butter.
Buttermilk biscuit.
But thank you. National Buttermilk Biscuit Day. And Rob Gronkowski's birthday, and also National Crouton Day.
And the day that Pete Rose was...
Oh, we got to get into Pete Rose in the next segment. All right, but real quick, Dancing Rabbit Golf text line 601-885-3776. Where's your go-to to get the best biscuits? I'm talking about cafe, diner, local, Twitter X at Bowbounds, and the Michelob Ultra caller line is 601-707-3750. So we had Tom Luginbill on, and we talked about, Southern country breakfasts on National Buttermilk Biscuit Day. And there's just nothing better than a really, really, really hot butter biscuit. And then you put some local Mississippi honey on it. And then maybe you got a couple of slices of ribeye on the side. And then some jalapeno cheese grits. And then about 47 pieces of crispy bacon.
There you go.
Okay. And then either, if it's about 11 a.m. on a Saturday, or you're on vacation, or you're in the studio, you do a Tito's vodka Bloody Mary with the pickled green beans. You have to put the crispy bacon in, and you also do pickled okra. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And if you want to drop some deer sausage in there, put it on a toothpick. That's good too.
Pretty good.
So who are the leading dudes, SEC football coaches, that are going to square up on a Southern country breakfast? Well, we may have a tie here. Sam Pittman, Jeff Lebby, Mike Elko. Yeah. Stoops is right at the door. And then one guy that we thought that we missed, that our listeners hammered the text line while Luginbill was on. And he's an anomaly because he played quarterback.
Right.
But Josh Heupel looks like a 4A offensive lineman. Yeah. I mean, he's thick and heavy. And there's no doubt in my mind that Heupel could tear up Waffle House any day of the week in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I'm talking about drill
it. But you got so much in front of you to compete with.
Right.
Sam Pittman. He looks like a throwback. He was an offensive line coach forever and was the O-line coach at Georgia when Arkansas missed on Kiffin and got Pittman. That'll be one of the biggest,
is that a will? Oh, wow.
Shot in the balls.
Ouch.
That you'll, because every team's gone through different things where you miss, someone.
Right.
And then Jeff Lebby is a big man. And there's no doubt that Lebby can smash a ribeye, but he can sit down with 4 fried eggs, 2 buttermilk biscuits, a big thing of grits, and 24 pieces of bacon. And not even check up. Yeah. And he's younger.
Yeah.
And then throw in Mike Elko at A&M. That's a thick, big boy.
Tough one.
And I think he's tough. Yeah, I think he's tough as a granite countertop. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. If you need French drains or foundation repairs, Superior.ms, Superior Foundation with a warranty. They'll get you a quote in 48 hours. Superior.ms. Jay on Twitter says that an Egg McMuffin is healthier than local places doing biscuits. So it's a very broad statement. Yes. I guess that could be the case in some spots, but that's not going to be across the board. You getting in a fight with that microphone?
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you just channel your inner Mike Elko?
I mean, well, I'd be eating the microphone at that point.
That's a good point. Put a little salt on there. And
I mean, because this is what I envision him being able to chew and gnaw through.
Yeah.
Steel.
Mike Elko's one tough cookie.
I'm telling you, it looks like he chews nails. I'm good on that.
Elko, Pittman, and Stoops, and Levy. But Levy's got a little QB in him. Like Sark and Kiffin are hardcore pretty boy
Posh.
Former QBs.
Right.
Okay? Heupel does not look like he played QB. Okay? Heupel looks like he played I really go offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a joke that he played quarterback.
He was Mike Leach's first quarterback at Oklahoma, and they won a national championship.
Incredible.
Now he's one of the better coaches, but he's sloppy looking.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, okay?
Still
but,
sloppy.
on the sidelines, nothing's ever tucked in.
No.
Like Kiffin and Sark are worried about their physique and looking super good in the golf shirt or the hoodie, the pullovers, Beamer's in good shape. Beamer, Kiffin, Sark. Napier looks like he's in good shape.
Yeah, he does.
I think Drinkowitz is probably in pretty good shape.
Heupel
And not that you can't be thick like Stoops,
Sure.
and Levy, and Elko, and be
in shape.
active and in shape and so on. So
Yeah, but Heupel looks like a sloppy Joe.
he does. He does look like a sloppy Joe. Or when you mix your breakfast together.
Yeah.
At the end, when you've got a little bit of eggs left, a little bit of grits left,
Throw it all together.
and you may have the bottom of the biscuit or the top. You just throw all of it on because
Right.
you gotta smash and go take the day.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to seize it.
Right. Breakfast this morning brought to you by the honey buttered chicken biscuit at Burgers Blues Barbecue in Madison, B3. And breakfast this morning brought to you by the grab and go delicious breakfast biscuits at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. And one more.
All right.
Breakfast, we're just tied all in with our fun partners. Breakfast this morning brought to you by the breakfast biscuits at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. They're amazing. Those ladies are awesome, and they get those, you can go bacon, egg, and cheese. You can go sausage, egg, and cheese, and they may have one more combo, Jackson, at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club.
I'll give you a fun fact about, you mentioned the health aspect of an Egg McMuffin, right?
Okay.
The oatmeal at McDonald's.
I can't imagine how bad it is for you.
Calories ringing in at 320.
Okay.
Okay. Your
All right.
Egg McMuffin is under that at 310.
The Egg McMuffin has 310 calories?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me what the ingredients
Yeah,
are.
that's
I mean,
true.
I'm not calorie total is not
It's
not
nothing.
indicative all the time of what the preservatives and so on. I mean, where Jay's wrong is there are many local places that use clean ingredients.
That's right.
To make biscuits or whatever the hell they're making today. That's why we love to eat local.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's why we jumped on the local restaurant thing from day one on this show in October of 2003. We were going to be the culinary travel, booze, food, all that stuff. It's natural for us. Some have to work at it. It's just not a good land. So Sam, this is from Lee Dog. Sam Pittman could do more damage inside a Cracker Barrel. They have a meal called Southern Country Breakfast. Hell yeah.
they do.
Look, I can promise you Sam Pittman's had that meal.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, when he was an assistant coach, he really had to run the roads.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to run the roads as much, either as an assistant or you got to be careful how much you let off the pedal. But because of the portal, it's a little bit different than when like Mullen and Freeze and Sherrill and Tuberville and those guys were at their, were in their prime. Not that Dan and Freeze are not, but those guys were running the roads all the time, and Sam Pittman hammered Cracker Barrel, no doubt.
And because that timeline would add up, right.
Would you rather go, which one do you like better, Jackson? Waffle House or Cracker Barrel?
Oh. Situational? I don't know. If I had to just pick, though, I'm going to go Waffle House.
See, I lean Waffle House.
It's a lean. But I respect
But I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in about 5 or 6 years.
I credit Cracker Barrel with some of my intellect.
I think that's a good thing.
Because they had the triangle game, with the little pegs that you jump over the pegs and it's logic.
I didn't know that.
All right, so
is this in their little merch store?
Well, they keep it on every table.
People actually peruse that for 15, 20, 25 minutes.
It's crazy.
God, that tells me you have nothing to do with your life. But anyway, go ahead.
No, they have it. It's on the table. It's like a little brain teaser game. That's what it is.
It's like going to Buc-ee's for 28 minutes. Go ahead.
Brain teasers got my mind working at a young age.
Okay, so there was a game you could play in there while you're waiting on.
Like they had
your
checkers
eggs
out front
and bacon and grits.
The little pig.
Cracker Barrel's not that good. It's very bland food.
It's incredibly bland.
You need to. You'll have to grab the Louisiana hot sauce, the pepper, more butter. It's very it's bland food.
Oh, it's so bland.
You go to brunch somewhere and it's super good. Different spots around here, New Orleans or on the coast. Or
did they have mimosas?
They did. They dropped alcohol in there a couple years ago. I don't know if their revenue was going the wrong way. I don't know if a private equity bought them to squeeze out more. I'm not sure. But Blake and I did a show on the fact that you can now get a mimosa. And look, that's a hardcore Southern Baptist group.
Doubt.
Okay, that's a Bible Belt group. But we've come a long way. The majority of the state is wet. Well, I say that. I think it is. But legally and illegally, however the hell you want to run the numbers. But you can now get a mimosa at Cracker Barrel.
That's great.
I know.
Good job, Cracker Barrel.
I haven't been. Robert St. John, this is funny. Before he opened the Midtowner, his breakfast spot, which we go to now if I'm down there. And RSJ's a big breakfast guy. And Midtowner's fabulous. It's right by Hotel Indigo in Hattiesburg, which is a cool little area. And that's where I stayed last time I was at Hotel Indigo to do the Bocoma remote. But we actually, this was like 6 years ago, we went to Cracker Barrel. That's the last time I've been. Because he was laughing at me. He went, "I can't believe you're here."
More recent.
And he said, "I want you to order everything on the menu." I don't remember what I had because it was very forgettable. But this is pre-mimosas. So,
yeah.
Because I think that was within like the last 36 months, Jay Meadows.
Really?
That they dropped the mimosas and whatever. I guess you can get beers. I don't even know. By the way, Elijah Craig is the official bourbon of the PGA, and the PGA Championship is this week in Charlotte at Quail Hollow.